a shared email account if you're just getting started, to alleviating problems with complexity and siloed communications for larger companies. Regardless of how you use it, success comes from the same basic approach. Provide seamless, personalized support. With features like ticket forms to collect information up front and the ability to see which articles your customers searched for before and after submitting a ticket, you'll know who your customers are and what they need. Give your agents a single dynamic interface with everything they need, so it's easy to be more productive and manage customer interactions. And we've heard that agents love it, so just saying. Give your customers faster support on their preferred channels. With features like predefined ticket responses and our web widget, you can be in the right place at the right time. Tailor your experience with apps and integrations. Zendesk is the best-in-breed system for communicating with customers, but you can also customize and extend it to fit your specific business needs. And finally, work smarter, not harder, with powerful data analytics and survey tools that let you measure the impact of your work, understand customer sentiment, and leverage those insights to make better business decisions. If you do it right, you'll be happier, your agents will be happier, and most importantly, your customers will be happier. In fact, companies who use Zendesk support achieve a 95% customer satisfaction score on average, which is pretty good. In the next episode, we'll look at how you can be everywhere at once. Spoiler alert, you're going to need Zendesk. What is Zendesk support? Zendesk support, at its core, is a help desk system. It takes questions from your customers from any channel and pulls them all into one place where you can organize and manage them and ultimately solve problems. Zendesk support is simple enough that you can get up and running right away, but it also contains literally hundreds of advanced features that you can put to use whenever you're ready. Maybe you're ready right now. Support is quite powerful, but it's also flexible. It can scale with your business as you grow, from replacing a shared email account if you're just getting started, to alleviating problems with complexity and siloed communications for larger companies. Regardless of how you use it, success comes from the same basic approach. Provide seamless, personalized support. With features like ticket forms to collect information up front and the ability to see which articles your customers searched for before and after submitting a ticket, you'll know who your customers are and what they need. Give your agents a single dynamic interface with everything they need, so it's easy to be more productive and manage customer interactions. And we've heard that agents love it, so just saying. Give your customers faster support on their preferred channels. With features like predefined ticket responses and our web widget, you can be in the right place at the right time. Tailor your experience with apps and integrations. Zendesk is the best-in-breed system for communicating with customers, but you can also customize and extend it to fit your specific business needs. And finally, work smarter, not harder, with powerful data analytics and survey tools that let you measure the impact of your work, understand customer sentiment, and leverage those insights to make better business decisions. If you do it right, you'll be happier, your agents will be happier, and most importantly, your customers will be happier. In fact, companies who use Zendesk support achieve a 95% customer satisfaction score on average, which is pretty good. In the next episode, we'll look at how you can be everywhere at once. Spoiler alert, you're going to need Zendesk.
All right. I believe most of us have already joined in, so we'll kick in with our presentation today. I hope you all know I'm Aman Thakral and I'm representing Target Integration. And today we'll talk about conversational CRM with our teammates. So we have with us today Nitin Jagdish, who's the Senior Director with Zendesk. We also have Rich, who's the Principal Solution Consultant for APAC region in Zendesk, and then you have me. I'm sure you have met Bridge before. Bridge joined us last time with Amitabh, who takes care of the North region, and then we have Nitin along with him who take care of the entire West region for our West-based customers. This time we'll specifically talk about how well we can handle the West-based India's customer and how well we become a choice for our enterprise customer in the region. So before, let's talk about target integration a little. A company which is 14 years old now. We guys have our operation in Europe, Asia, US. We, as of now, hold our physical presences in Ireland, UK. In India, we take care of Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Bangalore. And in US, we are covering the East and the West Coast through San Francisco and Delaware. We also have our development center, which is based out of Greece. We are an ISO certified company who makes sure that all the data, all the privacy, which is maintained while working with our customers, are well taken care of. With this, we have always kept the practices to the level the data has been secure, you've been well implemented, and you also know what you're getting into. Talk about Zendesk. Zendesk is a company which has started from San Francisco. That's where their headquarters is. They already have their offices in London, Madison, Dublin, and various other places. So we are in Dublin as a neighbor as well. So Zendesk is a software which enhances customer relationships. It helps businesses to have a good representation through their sales team, their customer-centric team, and you have one view for any interaction that you have with your customer through Zendesk. The partnership between Zendesk and Target Integration been almost a half a decade old. We guys been working together and has a pleasure of working with various such brands that you would heard of, such as Zomato, Sony, Volvo, Eicher, OLX, Oyo, Uber. Take a name and you would see the partnership between Zendesk and Target Integration has been there to support their customer base. So whether you are a food chain addict who order food online, or probably order a cab, or probably order groceries, you will always see us around helping you, supporting you. So with our partnership, we've been able to offer a relationship management software which can affect the entire business. Not only just the customer, it also helps the internal team to take concise decisions, better decisions for them to grow. It's a single stop solution. You have only one tool which can be used for the sales, support, analytics, and so much more. And with target integration coming into picture, we become a single point of contact where we can not only take care of your product requirement, but we can also offer you solution, implementation, data migration, training, support, and any kind of ongoing assistance that you require to use this product. We also provide ongoing engagement. If you have already implemented Zendesk before and now you want some experts to come in and make sure the entire relationship is taken care of. Some of the products, some of the companies that we have worked with, like I spoke about, Zomato, Flintobox, Sony, Samsung, Grofers. So you will find us everywhere. One of the case studies that I'll talk about this in little length is Blum. It's a modular kitchen customer who has their core center based out of Australia, but they take care of their businesses across the north, south, and west, but their Indian headquarters based out of west. So the problem that they face is the submission and recording of their requests that they get from the customers. For them, the customer is not only just the end user, but also the people who use their repair services in the kitchen. So they wanted to have the recording and the submission of those things done. They also want the channels such as emails, phone calls, video calls, everything to be connected with us. They also wanted to track their complaints based out of regional, which is coming from south, which is coming from east, which is coming from west, even to break it down towards cities so that they can assign the right team members for it. So the solution that Target Integration came up with is, of course, without a doubt, Zendesk, where we had agents for them. We created a help center which take care of their email, phone call. They also have the calling and SMSs facility, so nobody has to go out of Zendesk. Every conversation is happening within the Zendesk tool, be it SMS, be it a video call, be it a chat, or be it even the WhatsApp. And eventually we use a lot of other plugins to build this solution. But today, let's talk about conversational CRM. And for us, we have Nitin Jagdish with us. Nitin, what is conversational CRM?
Yeah, thank you, Aman, and and good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be part of this panel and give my thoughts around conversational CRM. So we heard a lot about conversational CRM. Aman, if you allow me, I'll go and present and maybe discuss through about what is conversational CRM is all about. How does Zendesk play a part in that? Thank you. Allow me a minute. Let me present my slides. Hi, as Aman said, my name is Mithun Jagdish. I run the enterprise business for India and SAARC for Zendesk. I've been with Zendesk for the last 7 months, and it gives me great privilege to talk about what is conversation CRM from Zendesk point of view and why we feel is very important. As all of you know, Zendesk has been globally around 15 years, and we predominantly play in the area of customer experience and employee experience. And we have championed ourselves in these lines, which is CX and employee experience. And conversation CX is something that we feel is very important, and it's going to be one of our big bets for next 5 years that we feel that's where the industry will go. That is where the customers will also be looking at. So if you look at it, what is conversational CRX and why do we need to have a conversational CRM? Today, most of us use it and most of us do it. If you see, we use multiple channels. We use e-commerce site for maybe an app to go and order something. We look at we chat with the agent if there is an issue, anything of the sort. Chat can be on the app itself, or it can be on a WhatsApp, or it can be on Twitter. So whatever we do, we are doing digital and we are doing it faster than ever before. So customer has a luxury of interacting with your company or your organization in the channel that they want and the time and place that they want. So today it's completely changed. Post pandemic, things have become even more faster. People have adopted digital world, and sorry. So what is the point of view? What am I coming at? If you look at it now, customers today are shifting or demanding for personalized service. This is always there. Personal services is something that we were always used to provide that. Now what they want is that they want the personal experience in real time. And most of the smaller companies, nimbler companies, digital native companies, they offer this as by default. I mean, that's how they provide. They start with personalized services. They start with real-time customer interaction, real-time reporting if they need. All the stuff is started at the nascent stage itself. But most of the bigger companies are still today in hybrid model. They're still trying to get their act completely on digital thing, and this might be a hindrance in few way. We feel that smaller, nimbler companies will be able to overtake, and this is threat that we see. And that's the reason we encourage all of our customers to see how they can grow faster, and adopt digital so that they can serve their customers better. If you look at it, agility plays a very, very important role. We've done a survey to understand how things are and what people are looking at it. They say 61% people prioritize adapting very quickly. This is from a business standpoint. 61% of the business feel that they need to adopt to technology, or they need to bring something faster, and they want to prioritize that. And nearly 25% of the people say that they want to improve agility, at the same time reduce their cost by 25%. And today it's not a perfect world. You don't need to be perfect. Today in a digital world, we can bring technologies, we can bring things on board and keep improving and evolving, because customer dynamics, your internal dynamics, the market dynamics is something that keeps evolving. And having a perfect solution for today might not be the perfect one for tomorrow. So what we believe is that you need to have a technology or a digital touch which can be easily implemented, can be easily adopted, and then we improve as the business changes. So we are looking at that's what the companies say. The 61% want to adopt, they want to prioritize that, and 25% feel that they want to do They want to reduce cost by going for high agility tools. These are the few customers that we work globally: Netflix, Instacart, Shopify, Disney, Siemens, and you look at it, there is a spectrum of customers. There are some digital native companies who use our technology. There are some large enterprises who use in a hybrid way. They use technology and personal touch together to bring their value to their customers and serve their customers better. So in a way, we cater to a spectrum of customers, whether it is a digital native company or it's a big enterprise. We do have solutions for both of them. Um, what I want to get to is that, like Aman asked us, what is conversational CRM and where do we want to see? As I said, as a company, we generally believe that conversational CRM is a way forward. Here is an interesting quote that we feel generally we do it. We tend to overestimate the effect of technology in the short run, and we underestimate in the long run. This is very true, and a lot of things we felt it that way uh, when we were looking at adoption of e-commerce. People said, no, it's not going to be there. It's going to be there for a while and things like that. Uber, Ola, how things have changed. The entire rideshare business itself has changed. So we normally we underestimate in the long run how disruptive these technologies will be, and we believe conversation CRM is the next step towards that, and how it's going to help us evolve our journey with our customers, how it's going to make customer interaction more intelligent, and it'll be all be platform led. In by 2030, we feel conversation CRM, artificial intelligence will drive customer journey and customer intelligence, and you need a robot platform for that, and that's what Zendesk brings on table for us. Um, what is conversational CRM? If I have to give you an example of conversation CRM, I'll give you my personal example. We feel it will be relevant by 2025, and every business will be using conversational CRM as a technology or a way of interacting with their customers by 2030. If you have to look at it, I'll give you a personal example that I have to face during last couple of months back. A couple of months back, I was using an app, and I ordered with the app particular stuff for a delivery in next 3 hours. And I got into my work. I was busy with that. I didn't even bother whether it's on the way or not. And as promised by the app, I got the delivery well within the timeline that I wanted. I looked at the app and got the delivery, got it, opened it. Then I saw what I ordered and what I got was two different things. And I was expecting somebody to come in next half an hour. And I was really frustrated to know that they've delivered something wrong than what I ordered. And I was really in a very foul, or what you can say, disturbed mood. And I got into the chat, and I was about to chat with the particular representative of the company. The tool was good enough. The app was brilliant to understand that, because the choice board that I was putting on the chat saying that I really want to get in touch with something, my delivery has gone bad. The chat was able to pick up, the artificial intelligence which is built in the app was able to pick up that this person that I'm talking to or conversing is not in a great mood. So we should put an agent instead of a bot. I should bring an agent who's senior enough to understand this concern. And this is conversation CX. And this is artificial intelligence. The way our technology is able to understand the mood of the customer, understand the pain or issue that customer is going through, and accordingly bring technology or a human touch. I think that's how it differentiates, and that exactly is depicted in this slide. We can chat in multiple ways. We can interact in multiple ways. It can be a Facebook Messenger. It can be a WhatsApp. It can be WeChat. It can be a telephone line that I pick up and talk. It can be a Twitter. I can do conversation anywhere. And the next person who comes to have an interaction with me, he can pick up the thread from where I left. If I had a bad experience with that particular company, I canceled the order and I get into another discussion on the phone. The person on the phone should understand that I've already had a discussion on WhatsApp, or I already had a chat with them in a Facebook Messenger. And that picks up the message and continues the conversation. Conversation CRM is all about how I can give personalized, seamless experience of omni-channel across the spectrum of offering that I have. And it should be like a conversation that we do with our family. I'm doing a WhatsApp conversation, come home, continue my conversation with the family, saying that this is what I discussed on WhatsApp. We have a context to what we are talking. Exactly is what this conversational CRM is all about. That how can you have an end-to-end conversation at the channel of the choice that we want to have. If you see social media, has had a great impact. We see about 36% of inquiries over social media uh, than any other channel. So the use of messaging has increasingly changed. It is becoming very, very dominant today. It's very, very important that you have a omni-channel messaging platform which will cater to every need of the customer. And the survey says so. 36% increase is a true testimony of how things have changed in last couple of years. We also talk about how rich it can be and how helpful it can be. If I'm looking at ordering something, I can order today. I can definitely order using a WhatsApp, or I can definitely order using a bot that I want to do. I can look at what is the conversation I want to have from a loyalty standpoint, and I can also raise tickets. So it is today, conversational CRM is not about only one way of mechanism, which is I'm going to service the client. No, it's not just about servicing the client. It's customer lifecycle completely at every stage. Whether I want to buy something from you, or whether I want to report on some issues that I had, or it can be that I want to know a few information that I want to get out of. Maybe I want to know what is the loyalty point that I want, how do I redeem it? I just want to look at it. So any kind of conversation, end-to-end conversation, whether I want to buy something from you, or whether I have an issue with you, or I want to just glance through some data, everything should be available. And that is what is conversational CRM, that gives you a flexibility to have an end-to-end life cycle management of a customer at every stage, and give the same consistent experience to your customers, or irrespective of the channel that they come with. The second bet that we feel is very important today in the market is about AI. Most of the stuff that we today, AI is still an evolving technology. We feel by 2025, AI will replace the first level of conversation with our clients. That is what Zendesk is adopting, and that is what we feel the market will adopt. We feel majority of frontline conversation will be handled by AI by 2030. That doesn't mean that what will happen to the agents. Obviously, like any other industry, it will evolve. When ATM came out, people thought people are going to lose the job. No, nothing happened. ATM just evolved. People started handling more evolving the interactions. Similarly, the first level of interaction will be handled by AI. The rest will be handled by the rest of the frontline interactions, maybe through agents and other stuff. But we believe that AI will be the first conversation will start in 2025. By 2030, it will majoritarily replace all the conversation. This is the second bet that we're looking at. And the AI is, we might say that artificial intelligence is still not clear, it's perfect, but it's been there and it's done a lot of tremendous progress. If you look at it, a lot of recommendation that come on especially in the area of health science. You see, there is a lot of FDA approved tool which help us to detect the fracture more 10% more than it is. Self-driving, I know it does not completely change, but we're getting there. How self-driving will be a technology that we can look at it. Artificial intelligence has played an important role in traffic management. It has played a role in health science, in travel industry. You look at it, it's making an impact, but by 2025, 2030, it will be even more robust and even more meaningful to our discussions with the client. And artificial intelligence for us is just not about how you automate. It's also about how well you drive recommendations for your agent, and also how you can predict. Artificial intelligence should be able to do three things for you. One, it should be able to automate the entire process for you. It should be able to give dynamic real-time recommendation to your agent or the bot, whichever is serving your client. So that this is, hey, this is the problem. This is what I want you to do. This is how you can go and get the support from them. Also give predictions. This customer might be not be happy with this kind of solution that you're giving, or give a prediction saying that this customer might be interested in buying this product. That is the kind of intelligence that we are trying to bring. So that is the kind of investment Zendesk or any we are doing in the market today, that how can we provide you an end-to-end automation and recommendation and prediction engine. We also, as I said, you're looking at future, how AI can strengthen the end-to-end interaction, whether it is proactive, reactive, and preventive. We do today a reactive. Most of the bots today are reactive. Some of them are proactive also, but most of them are proactive today. How it can be preventive? That is something that we're looking at from a trend standpoint. How can you cultivate that app or the bot that is there to do preventive interaction with the client? Proactive is very much there. We proactively send messages in case of there is a renewal that is coming for the due, or your policy is getting expired. We do that. We also do suggestions saying that instead of going for this, why don't you do it that? Reactive is anyway been done in industry for a long time. Preventive is where we bring this trend of what is the new thing. If I'm going for a health insurance from a company saying that these are the intelligence that we've gathered from the market, instead of going for this kind of preventive healthcare, why don't you look at this kind of a package? That is something that is going to come in the future, and that is where AI will be a very, very important, not only in retaining your customer, it will also help you to increase your footprint and cross-sell, upsell with AI. And that's the strength that we see that is going to come in next few years, and that's where we want to be from a customer engagement standpoint, and that is where we want to evolve ourselves. Just to give you another example, you've seen that in the era of great resignation, eventually we feel that will not be a challenge, because most of your frontline customer interactions will be taken or will be handled by majoritively by AIs. And that way you will be able to serve your customer better, and we will have a meaningful conversation with them with AI, which it can give you proactive, reactive, and preventive engagement with your clients. What's the messaging that we want to give you? We want to give you is that we want to give you a technology which will help you to deliver faster service, end-to-end customer lifecycle, whether it is a customer or an employee. We'll be able to give you end-to-end lifecycle for them. It will be personalized, and it will be able to scale the services at the rate that you want. So we are providing you a faster delivery, personalized messaging, and the scale that you would love to have. So how are we going to do that? As I said, we have a cross channel, omni-channel conversational experience that you can have, whether be it on web or mobile or social app. We have omni-channel capabilities which will allow you to connect with your client anywhere and wherever you want, and deliver the same fast and meaningful experience to them, and manage all the experience, whether it is a social messaging, whether it is a call that I made or a chat that I'm doing, everything in one single workspace, so that your agent knows exactly what has happened and continue the conversation. And most important, you need to integrate with your business systems. There are a lot of systems that everyone has. There might be an order which is sitting in a different system. There might be a loyalty point that is sitting in a different system. So we need that kind of engaging integrated system, which will help you to collect the data and bring it faster. What we feel is that a bot, it should be smarter today. It should be able to handle all the scale that we are looking from an engagement standpoint, but also have a relevant data that is required. I'm sorry. We should be able to have relevant data and make conversation even more personal, which I've already spoken about, and also get customer feedback if it is needed. If you give customers quick response, it should be automated. It should have the knowledge to preventively react to the situation, like the one that I had, where it was able to pick up saying that, okay, this is the mood of the customer, and I will engage an agent rather than engaging on all the channels. So this is what we are talking about. I would love to end my presentation with this slide, where this is a slide which is there on Lenovo. If you look at it, Lenovo Premier Care, we provide real people for real fast response. I think the world is going towards hybrid. Conversation CRM is not a complete solution with people not being involved, emotions not being involved. We feel it's a combination of tool and people which will make customer premium, and you're able to give a fantastic service to them. With that, thank you very much for giving me opportunity. Hope I'm able to add some level of knowledge from a conversational CRM, why conversational CRM from Zendesk. Looking forward to have more meaningful such conversation. Over to you, Aman. Thank you very much. I'll stop my presentation.
Thanks, Nitin. I believe we talked enough about conversational CRM. I think it's very important for us to go ahead and see how this conversational CRM really works. So today we have Bridge with us. Bridge, do you think we can replicate whatever Nitin said in words in a real life scenario?
Yeah, definitely. And in fact, that's what I'm here for, right? So
Awesome.
I'll show you live in terms of what Zendesk has to offer to fulfill the entire conversational CRM experience that we talked about. But before I get into that, I want to talk a little bit about the overall customer experience piece, right? So as you can see on my screen, the customer experience cycle typically involves multiple functions. So you might have your marketing team, which might be doing demand generation, at a certain point, once the customer is enticed towards buying or evaluating the products and services that your company has to offer, they'll go through the evaluation stage. After that, they will finalize the product. They will buy the product. That's where you make a sale. And then after naturally, the next step would be that you provide the customer service to that customer, right? So just like the example that Nitin provided about the food services, you provide the customer service. But typically, we make a mistake of thinking that this is where the cycle ends, all right? Naturally, we think that after the customer service, customer will get back into either the marketing, or maybe just customer will come back into the sales and then buy the product again, right? But this is not the typical journey. After service, you continue doing service after service after service after service. Once the customer is really happy with your products and services, they will go ahead and make a decision to buy the product again, right? So this is why the entire customer service piece is pretty important. And this is where we are trying to nail with the Zendesk, where we want to provide the amazing customer service that your organization can offer to your customers so that your customers can keep on buying from you, right? So with that, I'll take a couple of examples here before I show you the entire conversational experience. I want to talk a little bit about the self-service, right? So this is where you can see my screen, and you can see that there's a Furlenco's website up here. And I'm on currently the help center page of Furlenco, right? A pretty famous company in India. Some of you might have had bought furniture from Furlenco as well. But if you have ever encountered any issue with the Furlenco, you can go to the help center portal and you can browse through multiple articles that are available here, right? So I have questions maybe related to my orders that I would have placed, or I might have questions related to the payment issues, right, with my recent orders. I wouldn't have to necessarily reach out to the support team or maybe call Furlenco to ask about the issues. I can actually go ahead and browse through some of these articles and find the information by myself. Right? So this is where, for example, if I want to do the KYC, I can go through the article, find the information, find the steps that I'm supposed to do, and then I can just move on with my life. Right? So this saves a huge amount of time, both for your internal customer service team as well as for the customers, because they have all the right information that they would need at one place. Right? More often than not, especially the millennials, they would rather prefer to scroll on their phones or iPads or on their browser, rather than reaching out to somebody and having a word with them, right? So we want to make sure that we provide a customer service platform so that customers can find the relevant answers that they're looking for. Now, this is just one example that I talked about with Furlenco, but it could be the case where I might be a Netflix's partner, where I'm providing services around maybe let's say sound or maybe let's say visual effects, right? Or I might have services that I provide around the imaging, right? So I, as a partner, can go to Netflix's portal and I can find the best practices. I can find some of the content that might be of interest to me, and I can go through this content, right? All without the need of me asking somebody from Netflix or waiting for them to reply, or always be on a kind of a waiting IVR or a phone call, right? So I have all the information available to me here, and I can find the right content to help myself. By the way, the Furlenco example as well as the Netflix that you see, both portals are powered by Zendesk, right? So Zendesk has enabled the customer service for both the companies. And if you are a customer, you can just go ahead and look for the relevant content. But let me switch a gear here and let me talk a little bit about the conversational CRM, the whole piece, the whole discussion that we were leading towards. So I've taken an example of a company which actually sells bicycles, and I'm going to play a role of a customer who might have questions about certain bikes that this brand is providing, or I might have to inquire about my orders, or I might have to pay certain things, or I might have to order specific parts, right? So how can I use Zendesk's conversational CRMs and as an end user, and I can request for the support? So you can see here on the bottom right, I have a bot here. I can click on this particular bot, and this is where my conversation will start with this particular brand, right? So this is where I'll go ahead and just write, hello, sorry for typo, but this is where I'm initiating a conversation with the brand, right? And at any point, let's say if I have to move away from my desktop, maybe I want to take a walk at the park, right? I can still continue the same discussion either on my Facebook, Instagram, or WhatsApp, or even SMS, right? So I have the ability to switch the conversation without breaking the flow of my conversation with either the bot or with the live agent who is supporting me, right? So this is powered by Zendesk's asynchronous conversation capabilities, where I don't have to break the conversation, close my window here, and pick up on my phone and then initiate the altogether a new conversation there. So in this one, the bot is asking me some basic details just so that bot can personalize the communication that that he will have with me. So here I'm putting my name, my email address, and I'm specifying that I'm an end customer who is looking for some kind of a support, right? So at this point, bot will go back and based on the information that I provided, because I'm an end customer and not a dealer, it gave me a couple of options here. Now, all these options that you see, like find my bike, find a local dealer, find specific parts or order status, everything can be completely configured based on your business requirements, right? So we can show here a bunch of different options which you see that your customers are looking for. We can provide those options so that they can go through this experience and find the relevant content they're looking for. So in this case, I'll show an example where weekend is coming up. I want to buy a new bike, and I'm a bit more adventurous, so I might want to go for the off-road, kind of a bike with my son. So I'll just go ahead and inquire a little bit more about the off-road bike that I'm looking for. In this case, let's say I'll go ahead and select the single track bike, and this is where bot goes back and asks me some information around my budget, right? So I, as a customer, will specify that my budget, let's say it's around $3,000, $5,000. And this is where it can go back, use our conversational APIs, find the relevant information, find the suitable products based on my interest, and shows those products to me. Now, you can, for a time being, forget about the bike example. Your company might be selling furniture. Your company might be selling electronics and consumer goods, or you might be selling financial products or technology products, right? The idea is that we want to enable the entire buying experience with the help of bot, so that customer doesn't have to move out of the screen, and they can have the entire experience of buying the product, learning a bit more about the product, or even doing troubleshooting, right? So in this case, I have a couple of bicycles that are shown to me, and I understand that perhaps Crux Comp bike is something that I'm really interested in. So let me read a bit more about that, right? So the idea is, once I click on read more, it will open up a nice help center article where I can see the bike's price, I can see the suspension, and various details that that would be of my interest. At a certain point, if I decide to watch maybe a video, I can go ahead and open up, click on the link, and it'll open up the YouTube video. The experience that we want to deliver to your customers is that within the bot itself, we can do multiple things, right? It could be either payment collection with the help of bot. It could be showing them the video. It could be showing them the relevant help center articles, or providing all the information that the customers might be looking for, right? So at this point, what I'll do is, after viewing the video and finding a bit more about the bike, I'll go ahead and select this particular bike, where it will ask me to provide my postal code so that bot can connect me with local dealers who might be in my nearest vicinity, right? So again, this is where the conversational AI has been, or the APIs has been used, where system has gone back, find out the relevant dealers which are in nearest area, and I can go ahead and maybe click on get directions, right? So this is where the Google map opens up. I can, of course, open it in a bigger view, and then I can just navigate to that location. But at this point, what I'll do is I'll need some help, additional help, and I might want to connect with someone who can really help me to understand a bit more about the bike that I've selected, right? So at this point, what will happen is bot has collected some basic information from me, tried to provide the answers that I might be looking for, but still at certain point, I would still need, let's say, somebody to look at my issue. I might have a very specific question so that somebody can help me, right? So this is where the bot will beautifully hand it over to the customer service team who would be using the Zendesk application. And this is where your agent, your customer service team, will receive a notification saying that somebody is available on the live chat and they would want perhaps some kind of a help, right? So what you see right now is your customer service, your agent's screen. And I have, as an agent, the entire history of whatever communication that has happened between the bot and my customer, right? So I have all the right information available here. But instead of going through all the information manually by myself, what I've done here is that I've collected those information here on the left side of the screen. Let me expand a bit so you can view. So at one glance, right, as an agent, I can see that this customer is interested in a crux comp bike. Maybe this person is interested in the off-road, dirt road, and the customer's budget is around $3,000 to $5,000. Right, so this gives me at least some bit of information before I go ahead and help the customer. So the entire context of the conversation between the bot and the customer has been successfully handed over to the agents, and they have right information to provide the support to customers. Right now, at this point of time, of course, I can go ahead and write that, how can I help you, Mary? Please let me know. Or I can go ahead and select some of the quick replies. Right, so I can go ahead and select maybe, let's say, a quick reply where it will post certain templates and the customer will receive those, those responses. Or I can just, because I'm chatting, I can just go ahead and say that, hi, Mary, do you have any questions? And I can just go ahead and send this message. The key part here is that agent doesn't have to write anything, right? All the replies, all the quick responses are available out of the box, and that saves a huge amount of time for the agents, right? Imagine your customer service team might be receiving about 100 to 200 inquiries on a daily basis for one person. If that person has to do repetitively, type down everything and send a response, you will never be able to meet your service level agreements, right? If somebody's reaching out to you, like for example, Nitin talked about the experience of responding within 30 minutes, that company will not be able to provide that experience if I take too much time to reply to my customers, right? So as an agent, I have responded to customer, and customer will receive this information here. At this point, they'll say that, look, I have certain issues I need help with. So whatever the reason why they are reaching out to, they will respond, and then the agent will receive that conversation or the messages here, right? So just for the example, I'll just write that I have some issues with the product, and this is where the agent will receive that message. And at this point, if agent has to look back into the into the product or into the customer might have asked a question around their order status, or they might have asked questions around I paid double. The payment gateway was not letting me pay, so I had to pay twice maybe, and I've made a mistake. Why don't you go ahead and refund me, right? So this is where agent would want to go ahead and look into the backend system, into the payment system, to see whether really customer has paid for it. But for a second, before I do that, I want to just keep my customer a little bit busy so that customer doesn't feel bored while I'm looking for this information. And I'm just going to go ahead and give customer an option to play Tetris on the bot itself, right? So I'm not going to go through and play the entire game, because that will take then more than a 1 hour session. But the idea is that this is where customer can keep engaged. They have something to look at. They can play with the game, etc. And then once agent has found out the information, they can of course send the details to the customer, right? There could be an option where agent might want to activate the customer satisfaction specific options here, right? So I go ahead and say that, look, based on your experience so far, how would you rate our services, right? So customer can respond to those those messages, or I can go ahead and even send customer some kind of a payment link as well, right? So I'll go ahead in this case and send a payment link of, let's say, about $25, because customer might have to order certain parts, or they might have asked about payment. So I'll just put the details here. Right. So as a customer, I'll go ahead, put my credit card details, and I'll go ahead and make a payment. Now, what this will do is at the back, of course, we will have the integration with your order management system. So once the payment is completed, customer will receive, of course, a notification. At the same time, an order will be placed in the backend system, and customer will receive that order, at their doorsteps within a couple of days, right? So I've shown you multiple different experiences here where customer is engaging with a bot, and you would have observed that I've not left the screen of the bot. I'm engaging with the bot to find the information about the products and services that I'm looking for. I'm able to see videos. I can play, I can keep busy, so you can send me some engaging stuff as well. I can make a payment as well, right? Without even moving out of the bot's screen. So there are multiple different things that we can do, not only to facilitate the service use cases, but also to enable your businesses with the shopping experiences as well, right? Now, at this point of time, let's say if I would have solved customers' issue, I can go ahead and maybe, let's say, put my notes, and I can go ahead and close the ticket, right? So at this point, the ticket is closed. The customer will receive a satisfaction, engagement satisfaction survey, etc. But at this point, let's say if I want to go back as a customer and I want to go back and start entire new conversation, because now I might have questions about, I'm looking for a specific part of my bike, etc. So I can, of course, go through the whole flow again, and I can go and find the relevant information that I'm looking for, right? If you want, you can also set up something like scheduling an appointment with your customer service team or your sales team, right? So we can integrate it with your calendar system so that within the bot itself, I will have option where I can see the available slots, click on a bunch of options that that are best suitable for me as a customer, and I can book an appointment as well, right? So all these experiences within the bot itself, at the same time, having a flexibility of switching the channel at any time I want, right? Without losing the whole flow of the conversation, right? Another thing that I also want to highlight here is that even after, even if I come back after 2 days, 3 days, I will still have the entire history of the conversation that I had with the bot as well as the agent, right? So it may happen that I might have placed an order now, and after 2, 3 days, I forgot about it, but then suddenly it occurred to me that I have to check the order status. So I open up the bot again, and I can see the entire history of the conversation that I had with the bot as well as the agent, right? So it gives the right context to the customers, and they have all the information that they need, so that they don't have to repeat themselves and they don't feel frustrated, right? Now, at this point, I'll switch my screen a little bit and perhaps show you a bit of different examples as well. Of course, I talked a little bit about the self-service. I talked about the bot. Zendesk out of the box supports all the even legacy channels like SMS. If somebody sends an email, or if somebody wants to go to the help center and create a ticket by submitting some kind of a form. So all this different bunch of options are available out of the box. But for this particular demo, I want to just take a little bit of example and show how a calling experience will be delivered to the Zendesk. All right, so I've muted myself on my phone as well as on the agent's workspace so that, that there's no echo. But the idea here is that the moment customer calls, right, from this number, this is the number that is already stored in my system against the contact called Mary. And system will automatically, once a call is received, agent has accepted the call, it will automatically open up Mary's profile here, right? Of course, I have all the different bunch of capabilities here where I can start a recording, pause a recording, assign it to somebody else, put my notes, transfer it to someone else. I can add another agent or a supervisor to the call. They can whisper on the call as well, right? So all this different bunch of options are available as well. Enable within the system, right? So just for the demo, I'm just gonna disconnect the call. And this is where automatically a ticket has been created, right? All the details about that particular ticket has been posted here. And in a minute or so, a recording of the call will be posted here as well, right? So imagine if you have a customer service, quality assurance team or a supervisor who might want to go back to the ticket and understand what has been discussed between the customer as well as agent. So they can go back to the recording and they can listen and find out any coaching opportunities that they might want to identify and coach their customer service teams, right? So all the right context and information is available here. I'm just going to switch the screen and maybe open up another ticket, which actually has come in via a form that was submitted by Mary, right? So in this case, again, it's the same customer, Mary, who called us on, via phone, who was actually engaged via bot, who might have raised certain tickets by submitting a form, sending an email, maybe have started an initial conversation with us on a bot, right? So as an agent, I have all the right information that I would need about Mary at once in the screen, right? So I can see some basic information about Mary. And if I want to understand at a certain point that how does Mary's loyalty profile look like? Has she been our customer since a long time? Is she really spending a lot of money with us? And if that's the case, that she has been our customer since 2015, and she actually has a platinum, loyalty tier, I want to be really careful with my responses and make sure that Mary gets the base, amazing customer experience, right, when she's reaching out to us. So all the right information around the context of the customer. I want to understand maybe customers, shopping history, right? So because internally, let's say, for example, my company is using Shopify or Magento as an e-commerce provider. I can also see the entire history of, how does this customer look like in my Shopify instance, right? So what are the billing addresses? What are the shipping addresses? How many number of orders that she has placed before? And what is the total amount that she has spent with us so far, right? So giving the context to the agent is pretty important. At the same time, not only about the profile information, but also having the context of previous conversations that Mary had with us, right? So in this case, it was a call that I received. So I can see that here, but Mary actually also commented on my Twitter, right? So she actually, talked about her account she's not being able to log in. So she has posted a tweet. She had actually started a conversation as a live chat with us. And she also inquired about this particular keyboard, and she's having that issue and troubleshooting, related questions. So as an agent, I can see all the information. Plus, I can also connect it with your backend data source where I might want to find out the information around maybe, let's say, when was the order placed? Where exactly is the order? Is it in transit or is it still at the warehouse? Right. So I can see all the information as an agent, and I can provide then the right response to Mary. Right. Of course, knowledge is the key, right? For any agent to be productive and provide the right support to the customers, they need to have the entire repository of suitable answers for which the customer is inquiring for. So that I have available here as an agent. I can just click on it where the answers are suggested by the system automatically, and I can go ahead and link these answers to my response and send it to Mary, right? One thing I want to also touch upon, perhaps this is the last thing before I get into the reports part, but the idea is that we want to see, we want to connect with all the backend applications that you might have. Customer service is not the only application your team might be using. You might be using different systems to, capture the order, to collect the payment, to deliver the product. You might have a separate logistics systems. So all those different applications can be connected and integrated with the Zendesk. Right? So as an example, I have integrated my Shopify system with Zendesk. So this is where I can see Mary has placed about, let's say, 2 different orders. And I want to see a detailed information about the specific order that she has placed. And this is where I can see all these details here, right? Now, at a certain point, it may happen that customer is not really happy. I might have to refund the order. I can go ahead and process the refund as well, right? Either full refund or partial refund. So this is just an example, but the idea is that we have about 1,300 plus different applications available on our marketplace. Think of it just as an app store where you can just go ahead, download the application, put your right credentials, and that application will be available within the Zendesk application itself, right? So that takes away a huge burden of integrating and managing the application, right? With that, I just want to switch a screen and talk a little bit about, maybe I'll just take a minute or so to talk about the reports. All the important KPIs that any customer service or even the sales team will want to capture, those are all available out of the box. Right? So we have more than 200 reports where if I want to see the entire reporting of all the tickets that I'm receiving, which channels are customer using more? Are they using WhatsApp more, Facebook more, or do they have more questions about the orders? Do they have questions about the logistics, or they have questions about the payments? All these reports are available in the system along with service level agreement, customer service, understand your operations and efficiency. So all these different reports are available out of the box, right? So with that, I'll just stop sharing my screen. I can go on and on about this, but just want to give some time back to the audience so that they can ask their questions and we can respond.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brij. It was a great session. We do have few questions. The first one which I have is, how do I enable the messaging bot from my web and mobile channel?
Well, the simple answer is reach out to us. Right? We'll be more than happy to help you to enable the experience for your bot, for your mobile application, for WhatsApp, for Facebook, for Instagram, for Twitter, whichever social media channel that you're looking for, right? More than happy to help you. The important part here that I want to highlight is the deployment of bot or the deployment of enabling all these different channels doesn't take too much time, right? We have had use cases or the customers where we have enabled these channels within a day or even less in a lot of cases.
Right.
So happy to chat further on that.
And we have a follow-up question which says, what will be the cost of implementation for small industries around 50 user? I'll answer that if you guys are okay. So the cost of implementation varies absolutely on the kind of solution that you're looking for. It can be implemented. So Zendesk is very much DIY product. You can start, can purchase the product and start using it, but it all depends what level of detailing that you want to get into. If you really want to implement a system which can connect with multiple channels, which multiple channels, which all channel that you would like to have, would you like to set up workflows? Would you like to set up chatbot? If chatbot, what will be the flow of chatbot? All that will define the implementation cost. Very interestingly, one of the biggest myths we have seen is that people think the implementation cost is proportional to the user count. In a way, yes, but that's not really true. It all depends the process of implementation. A product which has only a couple of users can spend lakhs and lakhs of money on implementation, whereas a user count could be hundreds, still you are spending money in thousands. So it all depends what kind of scope and what kind of implementation process that you have, and that can define in a shorter word. Reach out to us, or you can drop us an email at info@targetintegration.com, and somebody from our team will surely come back to you, speak about this in detail, and give you an answer. We again have a question which says, can we trial Zendesk before purchasing it? Absolutely. You can go to zendesk.com. There you would have an option to create your trial account for all the apps that we have. You can use them. If you want, you can also come back to Target Integration to support and give you a demonstration of the product. Along with implementation, we do sales services and sales activities as well. So we have team members based out of Mumbai, Bangalore, Pune, Delhi. So if you're based out of any of the location, we can always travel to your premises and can show you demo at your premises along with your team members. We have another question which says, what is the conversion rate, success rate that you have seen so far? The success rate so far that we have seen of Zendesk is pretty high. We have seen compared to other providers, when you have a lot of channels that you can integrate with, such as Google Play Store, iOS Play Stores, SMSing, WhatsApp, you will see most of the solutions are very difficult to find. And sometimes it's always good to have single point of contact for it. And I think Zendesk is a great fit for it. So you can always use these applications.
I just want to emphasize a little bit around that as well, Aman. If, let's say, you're interested in understanding a bit more about the success rate, or maybe you might have questions around understanding what is the increment in the customer satisfaction or increment in the net promoter score of our customers, you can actually go to the Zendesk's website and you can find a lot of customer stories there. Customers like Shopify, customers like OLX, Ola Cabs, even Uber, Logitech, all these customers' stories are available on our Help Center portal. And with that, we have also done due diligence to understand a bit more about improvement in their customer satisfaction, improvement in their average handling time, improvement in the first response time, and all the different metrics as well. So I can just actually post a link as well here. So if you have an interest, you can browse through a couple of customer stories as well.
And for the benefit of all those who are watching us on YouTube, we will post this link in the description of our YouTube link as well, so that you can follow up. With this, we have reached to the end of today's webinar session. I would really like to thank Brij and Nitin for joining us today. It's always been great to have Brij in such sessions, but Nitin, with your presence, we really feel excited and happy to about it. Thank you so much. We'll surely catch up next time with another round of webinar. At the last, thank you so much for all the attendees to join us, all the people who are listening us on various social media channels such as YouTube. You've been always grateful towards us to listen us. We'll surely come back next time again with another round of webinar. Until then, thank you and have a good day.
Thanks,